Your old pal EZ has some color in his face. Yeah, I was outside all day yesterday, working. I put my back into it. We had this pile of mulch that needed to be moved. Before that, we needed all the bushes trimmed. Pooh Bear was hosting a pool party. So I'm like, that's it. 11 a.m., I was out there. It was already like 85 degrees. It topped off at 95 or 97, something like that. It was ridiculously hot. But I felt great. I felt outstanding. And one of our pals that was over, Janine, she made a phone call to her husband, who I guess she wanted some stuff done around the outside of the house. And he said, well, it's too hot outside. And so she said, Eric's been out the entire time that we've been here by the pool spreading mulch. And it was great because I got to do what I like to do, that is stay busy. And then when something gets done, I feel so much better. It's a real rush for me to actually accomplish something. I don't know if you like that. I actually will. If I get something done, I will, after it gets done. Like I walked to the back door before I went to bed just to look at it, to look at that the bushes were trimmed and that the mulch was spread. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I don't know who I'm saying fuck you to, but it was just great. So Janine drops that on Kirk, and he's like, oh, God, thanks, Eric, for raising the bar. But all set, ready to go with that. So today it's much the same. A lot of ridiculous heat, but should be a good day. I'm excited for it because we are getting rid of the fraud bus today. Right now, the fraud bus is in the driveway. The generator is on so that the air conditioning is on so that Pooh Bear can empty everything out of it, like all the things that we have: bedding, towels, toiletries, spices in the spice rack, yada yada, and empty it, and then take it over to Mr. Consignment, who's then going to sell it for me. In a way, I felt kind of bad. I had a tinge of, like, what was 100%, it's going to be sold today when I was in there. It was like 2% of let's keep it came back to me. Now, I'm not keeping it. But you never know with me. That 2% could very easily turn to like 80%. Knowing me. All right. Let's get right into it. There is so much to talk about today, as we are joined by the multi-talented Eric Nagel with the question, do you still have that cabin in the middle of nowhere? Yes, but it's not a cabin. It's an old trailer. And I think I'd like to put a cabin there. So we're going to blow out the RV and put a cabin there. E-Rock, what are you doing? What in the world is going on in the world of E-Rock? It's been too long since we've spoken. We got to at least have some type of text exchange talking about the state of the radio industry. Which, by the way, every time I turn around, I see another article, and it's on whatever radio trade website, and it says, New info. More young people, 15 to 24, are listening to radio than ever before. And that is a lie. That is a bullshit, bold-face fucking lie. Industry people take, I don't know if they just fabricated like off the top of their head or they actually get research and then somehow twist it to make it seem like to bolster up what it is they do in the radio industry. But E-Rock and I have conversations about this shit all the time. Radio bigger than ever. Profits at an all-time high. Everything is great. Meanwhile, major market radio morning shows are blowing out staff despite number one ratings. See Preston and Steve. See Dave and Chuck the Freak. E-Rock says, did you see iHeart bought a cafe in Cannes for the film festival? Spent hundreds of thousands on it. Now that does not surprise me. Holy shit. Corey says, I have not used the FM AM radio in my car one time in the past 5 years. Cole says to E-Rock, you need to do a podcast where you rewatch Opie and Anthony and just give your takes and insight on what was going on at the time. That would be interesting. Well, anyway, welcome, big fella. I want to get right to Pooh Bear and I went to the Pride celebration in Grand Rapids. I wanted to meet Rainbow Flag Jeremy and Rico. They just, we were at the pinball get together on Friday, and Pooh Bear did not show up. So Jeremy's like, God damn it, I really wanted to see her. I go, I know, man, I know. So he says, are you guys going to go to the Pride thing and wear your free dad hug shirt, free mom hug shirt? And I go, I don't know, maybe. I think so. I got something going on, but we made it happen. And so we go there and we see those gays, and we say hi and all that fun stuff. And the Pride celebration, I think for the amount of time that you walk around, it's quite a success rate of things to discuss in the podcast. Like, in the short amount of time that you walk through it, you're going to see some things that are worth talking about. And one of the things that stood out to me were the street preachers. More than once, you'll see somebody who has a speaker that they're speaking into or a megaphone, and they're talking about, you must repent, all you sodomites. You are going to hell, and there's signs, all those multicolored signs like the Westboro Baptist Church used to have that says, like, God hates FAGS. And so these guys are, I got to say, if you're going to do that, I think, and it's 95 fucking degrees. That is some serious effort. Not as much effort as the furries. The furries were walking around in full gear. It was 90 fucking 5 degrees, and the heat index was like 103, 104. And the furries, that might be one of the all-time greatest examples of athleticism, to have that type of ability. Chris says furries are a different level. They are. And so this festival is all about just accepting people for who they are. That's the big thing. So you have all these people that do all this crazy shit. And then you got other people who are so tightly wound that they want to look at them and say, you're a fucking asshole. Fuck you. Fuck this. Fuck this. And no better place for the Satanic Temple of West Michigan. These motherfuckers make me so happy. Now, I can't say for sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I don't know, and I think they set it up this way. I can't tell if they really do worship Satan or if they are just fucking around for a reason that I am not aware of. I don't know. We have talked about the Satanic Temple of West Michigan many times before. If you were to go to their website, just look that up, Satanic Temple of West Michigan, and look up their tenets, like what they believe in, it's all very good. I mean, it's different than Satanism. If you were to look up Satanism, what they want, their tenets are evil is good, fuck everybody. It's nonsense. But the Satanic Temple of West Michigan is very different. So I suspect they don't, this is just my theory, they don't worship Satan really, and they're all gay as hell, but for some reason, I think it's a big troll, but I don't know that for sure, and they will never reveal that to me. Now, I walked over to their display area where, as you know, the guy Bender Bones has been on this show before, and I see him, and he like flips out, and he gives me a big hug. Now, that's saying something. That shows you the trustworthy level of EZ, because Bender's very guarded. He doesn't just open up to everybody because there are so many crazy people that want to do fucked up shit to him because he's at the Satanic Temple of West Michigan. But your old pal EZ, we are tight. He fucking trusts me because I don't fuck with him. You know, I put him on the air. I give him a fair shake. And we've had nothing but good times. All that shit with Ottawa Impact was fantastic. And then he's standing next to the priest, Reverend Cypher. And that fucker is the guy. He's, by the way, he's about 4'6". And I was like, are you sitting down? What the fuck? Did you get your shins blown off like Hank Hill's dad? What the fuck is going on there, you little shit? And we had a good laugh. And he's the guy that said the invocation. Remember at the Ottawa board meeting, the commissioners meeting? They got in trouble because they said only people who worship Jesus can do the invocation. They sued. They won. Reverend Cypher says the invocation. It's fucking great. That's incredible. So I see all these people. It's Pooh Bear and I. And now Bender says, hey, it's Eric Zane. And you got all these members of the Satanic Temple of West Michigan. They're aware of me because they've seen and heard my interview with Bender. They're like, oh, my God, how's it going? So I shaking all these hands. They're all sweaty and gross. And then I get to this one chick who her tits are so out. I mean, these beautiful bare titties with a piece of electrical tape over the nips. I guess that's how you can get away with having your tits out. I'm like, hey, how are you? And I'm shaking hands like it's a goddamn business meeting. And I wanted to say, hey, those are, your tits are hanging out there. They must be cool titties. And I'm sure she would have said, yes, they are. And Pooh Bear, hey, Pooh Bear, you should show her your titties. It's a fucking titty fest. God damn, was that fun. And we went and we admired the goat display. It was great. We parted. Off we go. Go over to the street preachers. So they're there saying that you're all going to die because you're into butt stuff, whatever the fuck. And the members of some of the Pride community that are there, they set up their own speaker of like dance music. And they're having a fucking dance party right in front of this fucking idiot who's telling them that they're going to go to hell. And they're grinding like you wouldn't believe. Like the one chick would stick her leg out and be like, you know, and then the other one would straddle her leg and she's having a goddamn orgasm right in front of this guy. And right about the time that I busted out my phone, it ended. And it was unbelievable. Jesus Christ. Wow. It never disappoints. It never, ever disappoints. The things that you will see. Pooh Bear and I, we look so out of place there. Old man, husband, wife. There weren't a lot of people like us there, especially as we get older and older and older. This is a young person's game here. There wasn't a lot of old gays, but there was a lot of young and middle-aged, pretty much millennials and on down. I think the oldest gay there was Rainbow Flag Jeremy, who I don't know how fucking old that guy is. But anyway, we hang out, and then I got my shirt, and I said to Pooh Bear, I go, are you going to wear your free mom hug shirt? She goes, no, because it's black. I go, well, you're going to miss out then. She goes, no, I won't. I go, yeah, you will. So my shirt says free dad hugs, and I look very daddish, you know? So some people aren't aware of what that is all about, but the underlying theme of the free dad hugs is a lot of these gays, like when they came out to their mom and dad and said, hey, I'm gay, their parents said, fuck you. And that's pretty horrible. So I think that that's what is the background behind that. So I've got my free dad hug shirt, and we walked by these dudes, and this guy has high heels on, and this other kid, it looks like I don't know, man. He was so skinny, he would make like Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes look like a bodybuilder. And his face was completely broken out from the nose out. I don't know if it was a super bad case of rosacea or he's having a side effect from the MDMA trip that he's on. But these two see me, and they want to give me a dad hug. Now, these are sweaty. Everybody's gross. But you got to commit. You can't, like, half-ass your hug and give. You got to grab these fuckers. So I go to both these people, and I squeeze them tight. Both of them. And we had a good laugh, and they loved it. They loved it. And then there was two other people dressed up as animals behind them. They stepped forward, and I think they wanted a full frontal dad hug, like I was giving out. But they didn't commit. You know, I'm not going to just go in and grab people. They have to say to me, "Can I have a hug?" So I'm giving the hug. And Pooh Bear, she has the shirt that says free mommy hugs. And she goes, I didn't wear my shirt. She now wants a hug. She's trying to indicate that she's giving out free mom hugs. And I'm like, fuck you. You're not giving out free mom hugs. You don't have the shirt on. Fuck that. Time passes. We're walking around a little further on down the road. And I hear, excuse me. And I look, and it's these two little pixies. And they look to be probably like 17, 18 maybe. And they go, can we have a hug? And I go, oh, my God. And they're crying. I swear to God, they're fucking crying. And so, you know, they're either extremely under the influence or their dad told them to fuck off. That's what happened. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I gave my hugs. Pooh Bear again says, I'm giving free hugs too. And I'm like, no, she's not. She's not giving out free hugs. Bullshit. Badger says Mr. Pop Pop makes an appearance. I will say this. Mr. Pop Pop was brought up at the pinball get-together on Friday, and it was by a child. Adam Balboa's going into second grade son referred to me as Mr. Pop Pop, which it sounded so bad. I'm like, he has no idea what they just set him up for. Son of a bitch. So now I got a little kid calling me a pedophile. Corey says, no shirt, no hugs. That's the way I felt. E-Rock says, hug them, and there is no college fund. Exactly. That's all they want is a hug. Tyler says you got to touch tips when you hug. I'm sure we did. I was talking with Stu McAllister, the guy who sells all the Dippin' Dots. And we said this last year. And he said, why did we let it slip by that we weren't selling Dippin' Dots while we were there? Why didn't we go there and sell Dippin' Dots? I go, I don't know. I said we could have sold 1,000 in the 2-day event. Easy. I mean, it was crazy. Sell them for $5 a pop. We will turn a tidy penny. Petty? God. Yeah, I think that was it from the Pride Festival. Oh, no, there's this, too. This is related to that. And it is a...
Facebook fight. You are wrong and I am right. You are a stupid prick. You can suck my big fat dick. This is another Facebook fight.
So it boils down like this for me. Pooh Bear and I made a nice post on my Facebook page. Hey, we're giving out free dad hugs. Thing gets a ton of activity. A lot of people, it was a warm and fuzzy. This guy, Kyle Scullion, wrote this. F rhymes with bags. And so I'm like, all right, well, now I gotta get involved. Again, they go low, I go lower. So I took a picture of his wife. I screenshot a picture of his wife like I always do, and I wrote, that's ridiculous. You are married to a guy. Couple people got pissed off at me about that. They go, yeah, why you bringing his wife in? Why is she taking strays? I go, I don't know, man. It's a fight. That's what you do. I've said this many times. They go low. I go lower. That's it. What do you want me to do? Just say, no, shut up, jerk. No, you always want to kick a little bit more ass than what they tried to do. Yeah, I don't see why you got his wife involved. Who gives a fuck? Erex says, they go low, you misgender. It is the way. So then one of my audience members, looks at this guy's post and makes the comment, I wonder if your employers at... I forget where the fuck he worked. Spartan Nash will be happy to hear this. So essentially that person is saying, I'm going to tell your boss. Now, I didn't go that far, but I didn't have anything to do with it. So then I took his, then he reaches out to me right after that on Messenger. And he says, I'm sorry to me. And this is how I handled that. He wrote, my apologies, Eric. I absolutely did not think I'd get the response like this. What are you, a fucking moron? I wrote, don't apologize to me. You have bigger issues with the folks who've seen it. I think you're realizing that you've fucked up and probably going to pay for it. Live and learn, I say. And then I followed that up with, I question your sincerity, though. On another comment, you said that your trolling had snagged another, so you're essentially doubling down. It wasn't until somebody actually reminded him that it says on his about information of his Facebook post that he worked for Spartan Nash, so that fucker's probably going to get fired, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy. That's how you got to handle these fucking idiots. There was another fucking idiot who did the same thing. I love it when they do this shit. Oh, my God. E-Rock says, Eric is not a Highlander. They say there can be only one. Eric goes, great, see you later, and leaves. He doesn't have time for this shit. Corey says, I'm sorry. Quote, I'm sorry, I got held accountable for my actions, not because I said it. Tyler says in 2025, who goes around calling people that anyways? David says always go over the top in a beat-up session. Exactly. My response was similar to what Trump did to Iran. Did you see this shit? Trump dropped 14 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs. This is what the bunker buster looks like. Like, that's a dude standing next to it so you can get an idea of how big they are. 30,000 pounds. They can only be transported in that one bomber that we have that looks like a spaceship. What's it called? The B-2? And you can't see that goddamn plane because it's designed in a way that it doesn't show up on the radar. So in the middle of the night, it flies over Iran. There were several B-2s. And in short order, they dropped 14 of those fucking things. There's a one nuclear power plant or a nuclear place where they create enriched uranium, I believe. I'm getting probably only 10% of this right, but I don't like just reading from articles. I like reading it, processing it, and then telling you about it and getting 10% of it right. They have under the mountain, this Fordo plant, all these centrifuges, which those fucking things that spin around, in an effort to create uranium. And it's hard to create, and it's expensive to create, and you don't get a lot of yield. But with 30 of them working on it, they can produce it. They can use that to possibly fit a warhead, power a reactor. Who knows? We're not sure. Tulsi Gabbard says they have no capability. They are not building a weapon. Trump said, fuck you. He actually said, I don't care what she says. Week and a half ago, Israel on day 61 says, fuck you, and tries to blow up their nuclear capabilities. They do not succeed. They don't have the firepower to do that. That was after a 60-day window where they said, you got to come clean about your nuclear energy program. They did not. Boom, that happens. Iran responds, starts lobbing missiles at them. Okay. Everybody says, Trump, what are you going to do? He says, fuck you. I'm going to drop the 30,000-pound bomb. That bomb, as I understand it, is a conventional warhead that it drops down and it actually strikes the earth, and it is able to go into the earth through rock, concrete, whatever, 200 feet, roughly 20 stories. And that is roughly the distance down that the Iranians had this laboratory. Deep within the side of a fucking mountain. This is Tony Stark shit. The Jericho system. He's going to throw in the mobile bar with every purchase of 50 million or whatever the fuck. Great scene. I give you the Jericho. These bunker busters are burrowing down. And then it's not a long process. They just go, they're just gone into the earth. And then they'll explode and everything's gone. So Trump completely annihilated everything. EZ, how do you feel about it? Okay. Do I believe that Iranians would love to get enough enriched uranium and put it onto a warhead and blow somebody up? And would they do it? Do I believe that? Me personally, yes. I do think that they would do that. Do I think Russia would do that? No. I think they would do that because they're driven by the religious fanaticism that is extremist Muslim, and they would love to be a martyr. You know, these are people that fucking terrorists, goddammit. Fuck them. So when people say, so you're happy about this? I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I'm happy. Besides, Iran's been asking for it forever. Who gives a shit about those assholes? Fuck that. I'm glad it happened. I talked about this Friday. So I was excited when the what do you call it? The notification came in. We just blew the shit out of Iran. 14 of those bombs? My God. Sean Hannity, he always tries, he's in like dick swinging moments on the TV, and he goes, yeah, I just talked to the president, and we have dropped 6. Upwards of 6. Yeah, he didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. Trump probably didn't even know what he's talking about. But no, they dropped 14 of them. So that, for at least the foreseeable future, means that Iran does not have any capability, as far as we know. I always wondered about that whole dynamic of Iran letting in people to examine their capability and whether they let them in or not or whatever the fuck. That was always weird to me. No, the world is better off with Iran being bombed back to the Stone Age. The Iranians knew it was coming. They evacuated, and from what I'm understanding, all of the enriched uranium they removed. Now, I don't know what that means in the long run, but at the end of the day, the ability to create it is gone. Molly with a great question. Why can Israel have missiles? Well, you have to understand like I said, the fanaticism of religion and politics. Muslim extremists want the world to burn and would rather that everybody die so that they can go to heaven and get the 70 virgins or whatever the fuck. Martyrdom. That crazy fucking shit. That's why, in my opinion, Iran should not have missiles. Molly says no one should have nuclear missiles. Disagree. First of all, I'm pretty sure nowadays we don't have nuclear warheads. They're hydrogen. Neil deGrasse Tyson, something I talked about not that long ago, said, yeah, the weaponry is for the shockwave and the incineration from the first explosion. It isn't so much radiation after the fact. That's old school. You can still destroy the world, though, with hydrogen bombs. It's not like that's a walk in the park. They're not any less devastating. Rebecca says Christian extremists want to eliminate all other religions, too. It goes both ways with the religious craziness. Yeah, but I don't think that the United States leadership team is basing their decisions on religion. Big difference. Anyway, so that was big, gigantic news over the weekend. I don't really have anything else to say about that. I'm just curious as to what Iran is going to do now, though, because of course they're going to want some type of retribution, but I don't know if they can do shit. When Trump was in office the first time, he blew up some general or some shit. Remember that one where they just found the guy's hand? Just a bag of skin and a hand is all they found, and they didn't do shit. Iraq says, I don't think Christians have sleeper cells around the world. They just go full Inquisition. Can you imagine if the Pope was saying, yeah, we got to bomb Iran? Bernie Sanders is not happy about this. He was doing one of his, he's still traveling around the United States doing these little pep rallies, which I wonder, how are you representing the people of Connecticut if you're traveling around fighting oligarchy, which I don't think that's a term that nobody gives a shit about anymore. The only time people cared about the term oligarch was when it was with the Russian rich bastards. Now, I'm assuming he means American oligarchs because you know Bernie, but Bernie got the info in real time when he was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So this is him reacting to the news that the U.S. just blew up Iran.
This is a statement from Donald Trump, quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran," etc.
Oh, they don't like that. They do not like that. You know who else doesn't like this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Old Three Toes was talking about how, just when we're about to become great, we get involved in another war. Let Israel handle their own problems. Why are we messing with this? And I don't agree with that. I think we should have gotten involved. I think we should have done this a long time ago, frankly. This is a decision, and I don't support many by Trump, but I absolutely support this decision. A lot of people, actually. Okay, there you go. No more war. Look at this group. They're chanting. They got their phones out. It's a big moment for Bernie. He knows that.
I agree. And I want to tell you something. Not only is this news that I've just heard, the second alarming that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of you know that the only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
Okay, so he's right about that. But we're not at war yet. We haven't declared war on Iran. Going in and fucking up their shit is not, it's war-like, but it's not a war. Okay? We have done this all the time. If anybody gets out of line, you have to throw, if they're crowding the plate, you throw the fastball high and inside. That's what you do. Iraq says Bernie is backing the socialist Muslim anti-Semite candidate for NYC mayor. Wow. He adds, they already have people walking around New York with support Iran flags. Yeah, those people crack me up. These support Palestine, support New York City flags. I was like, oh my God. So this is dumb that Sanders would even suggest that. IMKO adds, we have been fucking with Iran's nuclear ambitions for decades. We just haven't been so brazen as to drop bombs. Look up Stuxnet. Don't know what that is. I'll have to check it out. Thank you. Man Bun Chris says, I met Bernie Sanders at the Kellogg's picket line a couple years ago. Love that dude. If he endorses Big Dick Pete, I think they can do something next cycle. Molly says, then bomb Israel. They have blown up babies, kids, and innocents. Bob says, Trump bombing is exactly the same as Obama sending the SEALs after bin Laden. All right. I think the only thing I do now is I worry about what's going to happen next. Bob says no one was pissed about Obama getting bin Laden. Exactly. All right, I think I've touched on that. I've pretty much exhausted everything I have to say about that damn thing. So we will move on. Kristen Chenoweth sang the national anthem at the NBA Finals last night. Game 7. Oklahoma wins it. Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers went down with a leg injury. I hope it's not his Achilles early in the game. And that was pretty much it. First half, it was pretty close, but then OKC wins it. I've heard the name Kristen Chenoweth, but I don't know who the fuck she is.
Now, the performance of tonight's national anthem. Please welcome Emmy and Tony Award-winning actress and singer and Oklahoma native, Kristen Chenoweth.
What's going on with her forehead, though? She looks like the chick in Mars Attacks. Remember that fucking robot chick? Walked into the White House.
Oh, say,
No.
can you see?
Okay, that's all I need to hear. This is shit. Just that alone.
By the dawn's early light, what so
She sounds and looks like AI. Who's this little shit?
we held at the twilight's last.
Now this goes on. This is another long anthem. I'm not going to make you listen to it all because I listened to it myself and I was crawling out of my skin. I couldn't take it. She's wrapping it up, though. This is when it really gets ridiculous.
Our spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free.
Fuck.
And the
Shit.
home of the brave.
I don't know why they don't, when you, okay, the game ops people that put these shows on, doesn't matter who it is. If somebody comes and says, hey, so-and-so singing the national anthem, I don't give a shit who it is. If it's Carrie Underwood, I'm like, okay, you got to do it. And I'm going to stand right here in front of you and listen to it. And if it sucks, no, you can't do this. You either change it, do it the way I want you to do it, or we're just going to play the Marine Corps band playing it instead of you. All right? All that shit at the end, that was fucked up. Nobody likes that. It's horrible. God damn. Rue State Blob says it's not inspiring because it's too damn slow the way she sings it. I agree. When I listened to the whole thing, which again, I didn't want to subject you to that, I kept like, come on, let's go. Pick up the pace. It's unnatural. It doesn't fucking flow with all that dramatic pauses and shit. Tyler writes, fuck you, lady. Stop! Showbro Michael, oh my God, that's terrible. Jesus. Piano Fingerbanger says, I'd rather get a bunker buster dropped on my house than listen to that shit again. E-Rock says, I've been a big proponent for years to adopt America the Beautiful as the anthem, a much better song. Rob says, crowd should have booed. Marvin Gaye singing the anthem, anyone else's version. You know what else sucks? This showed up when I was on Q100 the other day. Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner. Oh, my God. Ted Nugent does that, too. I mean, he's actually performed it live at, like, Pistons games, and it sucks. We, doing the hockey games, occasionally we have this guy who plays a saxophone, and it just, all I hear is Benny Hill theme when he's doing it, and it's terrible. We have another dick who plays the trumpet. It sucks. Someone should have pegged her with a basketball. I don't even know what that chick does. I've heard the name, don't know what she's famous for. But that doesn't surprise anybody because I don't pay attention to pop culture half the goddamn time. I'm sitting on a story that is so massive, and I am not going to blue ball you. I am going to get to it. It is the story of the weekend. This story trumps the story of us dropping bombs, in my opinion. This trumps the story of giving out free dad hugs and getting into a Facebook fight. I'm going to get to that, and then in just a second here. And I got to wrap up the first hour because I've got that staff meeting that I have to get to, and then I'll come back and finish the show after that. But before I do that, I need to remind you the studio is brought to you by Impact Power Sports. You can find them at impactpowersports.com. I'm sorry, impactpowersportsmi.com. Go there for an ATV, UTV, golf cart, you name it, they've got them all. I've got a realtor, Adam Kasari, 616-914-4061. Bang on Adam's door when you're ready to sell your home or buy one. If you're in West Michigan, that's who you call. All these people are listed in our businesses are listed in the show notes of the podcast. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. In the center of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and great place to get your vehicle repaired. 616-532-6600. That's 616-532-6600. Their website is ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Finally, Racing Saturday at Berlin Raceway. Get tickets at berlinraceway.com. They are $14 up until $11.59 on Friday. After that, they go up to $18. Get them online at berlinraceway.com. 15 and under free, parking free, bring in a cooler with all your snacks. No booze, no glass. I'm wondering if Donut Dan is in the chat. I don't see him. Donut Dan is known as Donut Dan because he has a bike race, a gravel bike race called the Dirty Donut. People come down to the small town called Martin, Michigan. I'm hosting it. I'm reading over the awards, who people have placed. It's a gravel road race. Hundreds of people race this thing. It was 95 degrees out, so fucking hot. Everybody did great. Nobody got sick. Maybe one. And then my job is to, on the mic, say, all right, third place in the age group 25-54 is Joe. Second place, Bob. So I'm doing that for a few hours, and then I leave. I have a few minutes between each race that I'm announcing to go get a drink, use the restroom. I walk into the high school because we're on the grounds of the school. They've allowed Donut Dan to use the facilities. It's really a tight ship there. Everything's great. I walk into the school, and it's a good chance to cool out because it's so damn hot. So I walk into the floors onto the floor in the main hall, and I don't even know the mascot. It might have been Blue Jays. Welcome to Blue Jay country. And then right there you got all the trophy cases and then giant photographs of previous year's graduating classes. I'm looking at them just to pass the time. Oh, this tea. Okay, look at that trophy. That's nice. I got a thing of water. And I wander over a little bit further down the hallway, and I see like this shelf for some reason. And I put my water down there, and I'm looking at my phone. And so while I'm looking at my phone, something's wrong. And I'm not sure what it is, but I can sense there's a problem. And I'm compiling data, and I realize that I can smell something bad. And I'm like, okay, this is fart or poo. I don't know which one. But poo, huh? And I go, well, I'm kind of near the bathroom. Maybe someone is really blowing it up. And then more data comes in through my eyes as I notice that people who are walking in are going out of their way to avoid something in their path. And some goddamn animal has shit on the fucking floor. And right at about that time that I'm realizing it, some dude goes, "It's shit! That is shit!" And we don't know how it happened because they all have like bike shorts on or whatever, but shit is there. We can only speculate how it got in the middle of the goddamn main hallway of this high school. but in its several spots, it looks like the Fordo Nuclear Power Energy Creation Lab in Iran. These big blotches of shit, which have been stepped in. Like some of them you can see like the Adidas tread and then the further steps after and smears, and it's fucking everywhere. And I am in it. I look around and I'm surrounded by shit. Now, right away I go, okay. And I lift up the bottom of my shoe, and you're hoping that there's human shit on there. But there wasn't. I had no shit on my shoes, and I was like, thank God. And I'm getting the fuck out of there. These people are fucking crazy. So, you know, I go, I got to break the news to Don. You know, he is in charge of this whole fucking race. And I got to tell him. So, a lot of ways, I'm hesitant because I have to give him some bad news. But the other part of me is like, this is fucking hysterical. I am so glad this happened. I go back across the parking lot. I get up to Don, and he's there with a couple other folks. This one dude, and this dude who heard it, he couldn't stop laughing, but Don was not laughing. Rue State Blob says, was the perps next stop the Men's Warehouse? Great callback. I go, breaking news. Some animal has shit in the fucking hallway. And he can't believe it. Now, I will say this. There were a couple of dogs that were there. But I don't think that doesn't add up to me. It just doesn't, because the shit trail was going into a bathroom. So I'm 99% sure this is a human being shit on the fucking floor of the school. Wow. God damn it. Tyler with a great point. Whenever EZ sees errant shit, he gets excited about show content. Well, shit is very mysterious, you know? If you turn around and you see shit out of place, it's instantly a Scooby-Doo mystery. You got to, where did the shit come from? Whose shit is it? Is it animal shit? Is it human shit? Did anybody step in the shit? Did I step in the shit? Wow. So we had a big laugh about that, except Dan. And I almost said to him, I go, hey, buddy, I wanted to like say, hey, I'm going to talk about this on the show. But I didn't want to do that because there's a chance he could have said, please don't. And then, you know, I would have had to have go against his wishes or never tell this story. So I didn't say anything in hopes that he would not say anything to me like, hey, don't talk about this. But since he did not say that, it had to be told. Wow. Really great. I am so happy that happened. And then I referenced it on the mic that there was a Code Brown. And just to think that in the audience of all these bike racers who are waiting to get their awards, there's 150 people standing right there. It could have been one of them who did it. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I am putting the wraps on the first half of this show. I have my radio station staff meeting where we discuss radio things. I'll be back after that with the second half of it. Please feel free to join me when you see that I've gone live. Thank you for your attendance and your participation and your attention.